Dear listener, what does an individual have to lose from nurturing? I speak of simple nurturing as opposed to prolonged nurturing, where every benefit endures to the point of detriment. Limitations are key to balance, yet our needs are constant and they will not always be provided. To be ephemeral is the objective of effective nurturing, of fostering and caring up to a point where independence is realized, lest we stay young, wounded, or anxious in spirit. Henry David Thoreau wrote that one generation abandons the enterprise of another like stranded vessels, and that nature is well adapted within us in both strength and weakness. Yes, one generation seeks its own fortunes, yet this is not abandonment, but an assessment on the quality of care we receive, that once we have been nurtured, nature unveils our exact strengths and weaknesses. Consider the potential of a newborn or of the damaged. Mutual potential and prospects can be observed from the stump of a wounded branch. Loss should not be a singular focus of the stump, nor would conclusions about finality be necessary. A greater chapter lies in store for the stump, where beneath the damage lies an accumulation of sugars and nutrients progressing in a direction where life once flowed, where prospects may propagate, where vitality does not cease. In this lychee tree, we find a wound to cover, exposed to nourishment of balanced moisture, shade, and sunlight, and patience to observe the advancement of nutrients slowly maturing from the stump into a system of roots from which the nurturing is curtailed. With the roots transplanted to become their own tree, at last, hope springs eternal. However, hope, like cultivation, is not based on idleness. It is based on motivation and knowledge, supported by inputs and resources. One cannot hope to nurture a wounded lychee tree without knowing one's own environment, knowing fresh days of the season, knowing the ideal temperatures, the atmospheric transparency, humidity, and whether there is sufficient water to help new roots counter the dry season. Most of all, one must know the lychee itself. It would not be the first time that this lychee tree has successfully nurtured a healthy set of roots from one of its stump, nor would it be the first hardship the tree surmounted, from hurricanes, thigh-high flood waters in the early fall of 2022 to the vicious remnants of a nor'easter wind scaling below 20 degrees that traveled southward in the winter of 2026. What's important to know is that we have a sturdy base, a strong, healthy foundation from where hope can spring. With what we know and what we have, all we need is apply and apply well in the graces of time, hence the necessity of patience. Without patience, we may impede with progress, for Rome was not built in a day, neither do roots reach full fruition at such a pace. Time is a gift to not simply apply your craft, but an opportunity to observe and guide towards efficacy. For only then will we know when we are ready with a bag to put over the roots, a bag moist with sphagnum moss, into which the roots will continue to grow. It is prearranged support that will retain the moisture for the roots, for they will most need moisture amid their development. Already gradual release has begun, so the roots will be assessed. And on the next day of independent growth, one is wise to observe, to make inevitable decision of severing the system of roots from the mother lychee so that they may receive their own pot of water, thereby evaluating their potential, their newfound prospects. Now situated in a separate pot of water, settled upon a Goldilocks area of sunlight and shade, these roots will grow to become their own tree and hopefully produce fruit within at least 2 years. What more can the botanist do? What more can the gardener do? Nurturing becomes assistance provided only at the first sight of actual trouble. Whether it is another flood or another drought or another extreme cold front, it's not abandonment, but assessment, where no shame should be perceived and the occasional accommodation. Through nurturing, what has engendered from that wound promises a spring. Our powers do not expedite the seasons that we seek. Instead, we confidently establish with the framework, and we note the extent of our influence. The rest is left to circumstance. But you can call it hope.